everyone, Stephanie Denman here from the Denman Homestead, and today, or tonight, I'm getting ready to bake a pecan pie. Pecan pie is my favorite all-time pie, especially around the holiday season. So I'm gonna make a pecan pie for our Thanksgiving gathering tomorrow at Kim's, my mother-in-law's. And I'm gonna do a little bit of cheating this time. I'm running out of time, and look guys, if someone is an expert in this thing, then I'm gonna go with the expert in this thing. Pillsbury deep dish pie crust, can't go wrong with it. So I have one here, a deep dish pie crust pre-made, and it's thawed out a little bit. It's been in the freezer, so I've had it thawing out here for about 15 minutes while my oven has preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna prick the bottom of this pie crust a couple times with a fork. And what that's gonna allow to happen is the air and moisture can escape the pie crust without it bubbling up and creating a dome. It'll let that air escape and it'll allow the pie to remain flat. There's also something called like pie stones or pie beans or beads. Basically, you could lay them all on the bottom of their weights, pie weights, the bottom of your crust, and it holds the crust down while it pre-bakes. Now we're only going to bake this for about 10 minutes because we don't want to cook it completely. We just want to get it basically par baked so that we can pour in our ingredients and the dough doesn't become raw underneath when we bake it. So let me go ahead and do that now. I'm going to prick this with a fork and we're going to get this in the oven. My fork. And that's what I'm going to do. Just going around a couple times. Woo! It's hard to do with one hand. And not only did I prick the bottom here, I don't even know if you can see it, but I'm gonna prick around the sides too a couple times. Set this down to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this pie in the 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. Now, while this is preheating, I'm gonna go ahead and mix together all of my pecan pie ingredients. And I have one thing that I'm gonna add to the pecan pie that's kind of special. What's kind of neat about this Caro light corn syrup bottle, I don't know if you've ever noticed right here, but on the side of the bottle, it's got this little window. And there's a 1 cup mark. So if you're using a recipe that needs 1 cup Caro syrup, you just basically pour out until you've reached until the middle of this little window, and that's how you know you've reached 1 cup. Because a lot of times when you use measuring cups and you pour this thick corn syrup in there, sometimes you don't get it all out, and this way you don't have to waste a measuring cup on that. Okay, so my recipe calls for 1 cup Caro syrup, or light corn syrup. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use the little window here to measure. Okay, 1 cup. One cup syrup. Now we're going to do 3 eggs. Next up, we're going to do 1 full cup of sugar. What, babe? Doesn't it look nice? you were looking for a low-fat dessert, this is not it, okay? All right, now, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons butter melted. I've already got it melted in this little ramekin dish, so I'm just gonna pour this in here. Okay, now, some of you may at this point want to add in vanilla, and you can. But for my added flavoring today, I'm going to add in a little bit of something extra. It's this. And you can use, there's a lot of different types of liqueurs. This is a pecan praline pecan liqueur. It's 21% alcohol by volume, 42 proof. It smells like a pecan praline candy. I don't know if you are familiar with those. Very sweet. But I'm gonna add in a splash of this instead of the vanilla. Now, don't panic if you don't drink alcohol, or if you're thinking, oh my gosh, Steph, you're gonna give this to children. The alcohol cooks out. It doesn't leave an alcohol flavor or taste. It just kind of elevates some of the other flavors within the pie, gives it a different spin on the pecan pie. So I'm gonna add in this pecan praline liqueur to my mix. I'm gonna eyeball it, maybe like a tablespoon and a half, just like a splash. So once I mix all this together, I'm gonna add in my pecans after. So while I was mixing everything, I went ahead and took out our pre-baked pecan pie crust. I'm just gonna set it to the side. I'm also gonna turn the temperature down on the oven to 350 degrees. The final step is to add in your pecans. I'm gonna use 6 ounces of pecans. It's about 1.5 cups. So this is a 6-ounce bag. I'm gonna pour the whole thing in this bowl. These are halved pecans. Some people put in chopped pecans, or they're the smaller pieces. Those are fine to use as well. And that's it. Very simple, with just a little bit of a twist, right? I just take my little spoon and I just kind of move everything around, make sure that the pecans tend to float. So I just want to make sure that everything has a little bit of space and room, and that everything is evenly spaced out for the pecans to have room to come up to the top. Okay? Now, I'm going to put this on a baking dish so it makes it easier to remove. And if you don't already have one of these and you bake a lot of pies, you need to get one. I've had this for a long time, like a long, long time. It is a pie crust protector. So if you've ever baked a pie where it needs to be in the oven for a really long time, and you've tried to wrap tinfoil around, I used to do that, try to wrap tinfoil around the whole edge. Tinfoil doesn't do well in circles. just doesn't. So this right here, it's a silicone. It can get really hot. Silicone circle, and you just basically place it on top of your pie. Press like that, center it, and it protects the crust from over baking. So cool, right? All right, I'm gonna pop this in the oven. I'm gonna pop this in the oven for about 60 to 70 minutes. So I'm gonna set the timer for an hour, check it, and then if it's still super wiggly in the middle, like liquidy in the middle, I'll leave it in there for an extra 10. But we're gonna start for an hour at 350 for now. All right, it's been 1 hour. Let's get it out of the oven. It looks great. So it's definitely cooked all the way through. It's not burnt. I'm gonna let this sit on the stove for probably the next hour or so and cool down. And then I will put it in a glass container and let it sit on the counter overnight. And then it'll be ready to go tomorrow for our Thanksgiving. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today and hanging out with me doing this variation of a pecan pie, which I absolutely love, and it smells delicious, but I will refrain from trying it until tomorrow. But thanks again for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.